people who develop feelings for you and people who stay with you for two reasons, and they usually lose interest or they get used to you in two different ways, right? The first one is when they habituate. Okay, when people love you and when they're with you, they tend to habituate, and the habituation process is very important because it gives you routine, right? Oh my fucking god, he's getting white. It's like Michael Jackson. My fault, man. um, and so this habituation leads to you having comfortable feelings, the sense of routine, like the feeling you have for your parents. It's not intense when you're with them, but when they leave or when you feel like they're about to die, the habituation breaks, and all of a sudden a floodgate of emotion comes through. But a lot of the times, this habituation, a lot of us experience it as rejection, experience it as them losing interest, when in reality, they're starting to love you more. The problem is that sometimes it is true. Too much habituation tends to make the other partner feel insecure, right? So you have to learn to break that habituation pattern from time to time. And like I said, the habituation pattern is broken through the natural conflicts that life offers you. Life will offer you opportunities to have to confront people and to deal with their bullshit. And those opportunities are the moments when you create that conflict that breaks the pattern of habituation. They start to fear that maybe this conflict is going to lead to the end of the relationship, or maybe the conflict creates awkward moments, and that breaks the habituation. And when you break the habituation process through conflict and resolution, when you return, it's almost like when you fight with someone and then you become friends with them again. What you don't notice about people who fight and they still remain friends is that the fight brings them together. So every time you fight, which means have problems, normal conflict in life, you come back, the love goes higher. And then they habituate a little bit, and then something comes up, you talk about it, a little awkward, maybe you guys have an argument, boom, 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 but then you guys reconciliate, you guys come back, and now it's higher. But then you habituate. And each time you go higher, it gets like lower. You don't go as high anymore, but it's just like it's a steady up, and this steady up isn't intense passion. It's more, I know them, right? Where in the beginning, you guys like each other, conflict, right? You guys like it like conflict, oh, right? But now you guys get reconciliated. So these highs and lows are a little more in the beginning, but then 10 years later, it's like this. Conflict. It raises you up. Conflict. So it's like each time this happens, the increase is lower, but the slow increase is really more familiarity. It's not the passion, right? And this is why if you cannot have some conflict resolution, if you just go Bronx mode when you guys have problems, that's why honestly one of my red flags in people is that if they cannot have a discussion about something without going exorcist mode on me, then I can't be with you. Because we're gonna have problems and we gotta talk about it. You can't blame your problems. It's like the movie Waterboy, when he tried to talk to his mama about playing football. She will always act like she has a headache, right? People like that who don't let problems arise and talk about it are people you just don't want to be with. Like, don't even talk to your therapist about them, right? Now, so that's why it's important to know how to fight. And if the person that you're with cannot have a healthy conflict, if they fucking turn John Singletary, they just go like, psycho mode, then that means this is not the type of thing that you want, right? Because the next one is entitlement, right? When people lose interest, they're either getting habituated to you, which is good, right? They're starting to see you as part of their life. But then the other one is they just get entitled, right? That's different. That's when they're with you because of ego reasons, and you validate them so much that they don't habituate, but they just become entitled to you. So people often develop a sense of entitlement, believing that they deserve certain privileges or benefits without recognizing the effort or circumstances that made them possible. In other words, you validate them so much without them earning it, and you don't punish them enough for their bullshit that they begin to feel entitled. And usually when somebody does like you, and you don't stand up to bullshit, they do become habituated and entitled, right? But then if you confront them and you show them you're willing to walk away, and you show them that you stop caring, what will happen is that the entitlement will go away, the habituation will go away, but what will come back eventually is the habituation. You get what I'm saying? Like, they'll get habituated, but they won't feel entitled no more, because you broke that pattern of entitlement. But if they don't like you, they can't habituate to you, and they can only feel entitled. And once you take the entitlement away, they'll leave. And that's why it's like some people are only there to take advantage of you. So when you habituate, it occurs when someone becomes accustomed to their partner's presence. It's getting used to the constant background noise. After a while, you stop noticing it. When someone pulls away, it reduces their availability. It disrupts this habituation, right? And pulling away isn't just pulling away. Pulling away can also mean that you show them that they have no power over you. You show them that you stop caring. You show them that you have become apathetic to them. And sometimes it's very important to show them that, because when you show them that, if they're habituated or if they're entitled, it's gonna work. Because they're entitled because they're taking advantage of the fact that you care too much. You show them you don't care enough. What happens is that they believe that they didn't do nothing to deserve it, because you validated them without them putting effort. So now your lack of validation is a reflection of their worth. And a lot of times they start chasing more. And the person who habituated and not feel entitled, when they sense that you're not caring as much, what happens is that a sense of doom begins to fill their minds with negative thoughts. And when they think that you finally stop caring, the habituation process stops, and all of a sudden they just start chasing like a motherfucker. Because you could sort of sense when you have power over someone, right? You could almost sense it. There's like a certain receptiveness that we see in their face and body. Their reaction time is quicker. The reaction time is more intense, and you could sense how they're looking at you to see whether what they're doing right or wrong. You could sense it, and when they stop observing, when they stop deeply observing you, and the way that you do that is it's truly as simple as not paying attention. Literally not giving them the fucking cycle, literally looking at them less. I'm not even kidding you. Literally looking at them less and having more physical distance will literally create this effect. You don't have to say anything different. Just having the physical distance and not and slowing down your reaction time and not looking at them as much will create that, because it's gonna have an ominous feeling. Because people don't know what gives them the sensation that someone is in love, but I do. And that sensation is just deep attention and quick reactions and close physical proximity. Those combinations create that sense of like they're spellbound. They're spellbound. Because what you tend to notice, it's like someone who's on stage, right? When someone is on stage and they're doing well, the crowd pays deep attention. And they're easily manipulated. You go this way, they look that way, right? And that's what tends to happen. They tend to follow us. So that's one thing. Right now, let's talk about the entitlement part, right? Entitlement happens when a person stays in a relationship because they feel validated by their partner's constant attention and affirmation. In other words, you validate them so much that you suppress their negative feelings, suppress their negative thoughts, and they get addicted to the numbing agent that your validation gives them, right? So it's not like they're really interacting with you. It's not like they're really looking at you. They're using you like a self-object, like an extension of a limb. When their partner pulls away, it threatens their sense of entitlement. The entitled person may then try to win back the partner, not out of genuine love or affection, but to regain the validation. So not caring will create a sense of loss and make the partner realize that they've taken you for granted for those who habituated. This can rekindle the desire and appreciation for the relationship, making them want to put more effort and reconnect. But when they are entitled, they try to win you back, not out of genuine love or affection, but to regain the validation and privileges they were used to. And then once you give it to them, then they go back to their entitled self, right? So it's almost like you do this not caring. Communicating not caring does work. And again, the communication of not caring is not a verbal thing you say. It's literally what I told you. Physical distance, not looking at them as much, and prolonged reaction time, meaning you take a little bit longer to respond to text. Even when you speak to them, you take a little bit longer to respond. Your words are shorter. All of those things, as the more subtle you do these things, the better. In other words, if you usually stand this much distance from them, you just stand this much distance, right? The more subtle, the better, because what happens when it's subtle, it dawns on them, and it's like a realization that kind of like hurts, right? So remember, habituation is all about taking the relationship for granted due to familiarity. And this habituation is a healthy part, and it's actually important. It's really important to habituate. Pulling away breaks the routine and can reignite genuine love and desire, right? But the entitlement is about staying in the relationship for the benefits and validation it provides. Pulling away challenges the entitled person's sense of control and validation, prompting them to come back. Not because out of genuine love, but because they missed the benefit. And that's why being able to communicate that you don't care or that you're able to deal with the pain if you lose them is so powerful. It keeps this monster of entitlement out of your life, and it allows people who are habituated to you to continually rekindle their feelings for you. Don't be afraid to confront. Don't be afraid to address issues. Don't be afraid to tell them that you don't like what they're doing. Don't be afraid to tell them you want more. All of these things will create those awkward moments that will create that ability to that rekindling aspect of this. And this is why when you show them that you stop caring, it's so powerful. And then I mean, just think, we've all seen it when we date someone and they're over us, right? It's almost like we're in front of somebody else, but why does it feel like we're in front of somebody else? Well, if you really pay attention, it's just everything becomes more constricted. In other words, when they like you, their emotions are intense, they're vast, they vary more. They feel multiple ranges of emotions. And also their gestures are more vast. They have the ability to express extreme joy with you, but also because if with your absence, they have the ability to express extreme sorrow and despair. So you just see a more charismatic, diverse person in their facial expressions and then in their words also. When you don't like someone, your voice and the variety of your tone is more narrowed, right? When you like someone, there's more variety, there's excitement, there's habituation, but then there's fear. There's just more ranges. It's like having more colors to paint a painting. And this variety of emotions tends to give people a bigger picture of your personality. And don't get me wrong, it's nice, but it gives a certain picture that's not true to. It's accurate, but at the same time, it's the variety. But when you stop liking someone, what you tend to notice, you just close more. Your responses are more consistently narrow, right? Your facial expressions are more narrow. You're not gonna express the joy because you don't love it no more, right? You're not gonna, so this section is not available to you now. So now you're only here where you can't make me sad, but I don't give a fuck. But you can't make me happy. So this range, when you're talking to them, that means this range is also in your tone of voice, your facial expressions, your movement, right? And this range gives the vibe of another person, of a more cold person. And a lot of people get offended when they sense that in their partner because they feel like they were swindled. They're like, yo, why are you acting all of a sudden weird? You're not the same person. And what people notice is that this person tends to be more attractive because it offends them. It hurts them. So that's why the communicating that you don't care really is not a verbal thing, it's a non-verbal thing. And all you're doing is just limiting the range of emotions that you show, limiting your voice, the highs and lows, and just being more monotone and being less expressive, like a freaking wolf compared to a golden retriever. Now, I don't want you to be a bunch of Terminators, but I'm just saying that just when you're with them, if you're usually here, the range, happiness, sadness, you just constrict it a little bit. And people don't notice it at first, but they sense it in an emotional distance. And when they sense that subtle emotional distance, it's almost like watching a horror movie. It's just, their blood just rushes down and they start to panic and they start to chase more. And it'll reveal to you everything, you know? This is very powerful because this has been done to me. These are things that I observe, you know what I'm saying? And this is something that when people see it, they can't unsee, especially the range part, man. I'm always aware of these silly little things. Like, it's kind of funny how, to me, these things are obvious, but when I tell people, it's almost like, they're like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you? How do you notice those things? Well, you know, meditate, motherfucker. How about that? You know, you could do that shit if you meditate. If you meditate, you'll be able to see these little processes. Like, you just feel sad, but I notice, oh, this thought comes when and this thought, and then this thought, oh, this is how I got to sadness. There's like a slow motion to your reaction time that you observe it from at a distance that is truly powerful, and it's something that's why I tell you people, meditate. Purchase my course, Emotional Mastery, or go to a 10-day meditation retreat, or get the book The Power of Now, or get the smaller book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, man. That's how you guys do that. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to work with Father Alex one-on-one, go to mindfulattraction.org and I'll see you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Mindful Attraction University, taught by Professor Alex, where I teach you all of the strategies to improve your dating life and all of the courses that I have all in one place. And you can get it at a highly discounted rate. So that means you can purchase all of my basic courses without the bundles, usually at $600. You can purchase it now at $399, people. Not $400, $399 for psychological purposes. Yeah, that's right. Oh my fucking God, he's showing us a scam. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Father Alex does that. So that means you could get emotional mastery, the psychological game of attraction, the feminine woman, natural chemistry, charisma blueprint, and nice girl at a discounted rate. But then, if you want to get the master's degree of the Mindful Attraction University, taught by Professor Alex, you can get the premium version, where usually all of the courses cost $1,200. Now you can purchase them all at $799 or 4 payments of $200. You guys can now also do like a payment plan. Feminine woman, emotional mastery, the whole shebang with all of the bonuses at one lower price, people. And with that, honestly, this is the type of thing that I know that if you guys get, it'll fix your dating life in ways you guys cannot imagine. Now, my worry is that it is a lot of content. Like it is, and I'm not a fan of giving people a lot of content because I don't want informational junkies. But this is the best way to get it all in one price. Now, look, mind you, if you purchase the bundle, I'm just gonna be honest, there's no refunds. Purchasing the whole bundles. If you guys think you guys are not gonna like it, I will prefer if you guys buy one course to see if you like it, and if you don't like that course, you could get your money back and don't purchase the bundle, right? But if you like that course, you guys can send me an email and say, hey, can I upgrade to the bundle? Pay the difference, and there you guys will get it. But it's just that, look, man, you guys know my content. If you like one course, you like it all, right? So that's the only caveat. But I know damn well, if you purchase it, your dating life will never be the same. Okay. Now, for those who purchase the courses but want to add to the bundle, you guys can message me and maybe we could come up with a price so that you guys can get it while being able to not have to pay all the crazy prices. Okay. So just click on the description down below. There you'll see the ability to purchase the wifey basic package, which is the one that you see here for $399 without the bundles and without the bonuses. But if you guys want to purchase it with the bonuses, which is a lot of content, and I'm afraid because it's a lot of content, you guys can purchase it right here with either 4 payments of $200 or one-time payment of $799, right? And yeah, and by the way, I made this design, Father Alex is being inclusive here and stuff like that. Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoy this. Hopefully you guys can support the channel by purchasing those courses, and I'll see you guys inside. Bye-bye.